We're just 10 days away from the ICC T20 World Cup 2024 at USA and West Indies. And we're in the team number 3 now. And it's the Ireland side. I have Tarun with me. Tarun, welcome to the show for the first time. It's the mighty
Yes.
Irish side. How do you look into this team? They've traveled a lot of teams before as well. Recently defeated the Pakistan side as well in one of the T20 games. So, very promising side. But how do you look into this team? Really, really a good looking squad. We'll come to that. But before introduction, please.
Okay. Hello, guys. I'm Tarun. I'm glad to be here. And let's straight away move on to the topic and let's talk about Ireland. And also, I want to add that around 2 days back, they have defeated Netherlands by 1 run. And that was a really close match in the ECN network.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. They are doing really well, and in the Tri Series as well as you rightly mentioned, they are performing well. So let's take a look into the squad for Ireland cricket team. Yeah, it is Tarun coming to you. The four players I have on your screen: Paul Sterling, who is the captain for this side; Andrew Balbirnie, Lorcan Tucker, and Harry Tector. These four names are pretty familiar, pretty experienced. We all know that some of them have travelled Team India as well. We all know that. So how do you look into these four players? They should be definitely playing in the playing 11.
Correct. So if you talk about the top order, then we can see Sterling and Balbirnie are there. These two are the top two experienced players of Ireland, and they have played around 100 plus matches. And if you talk about the other members of the team, they are kind of freshers, they are newbies. They have played 20 to 30 matches. They don't have enough experience and all. But if we talk about the recent form of Sterling and Balbirnie, then I don't think so. They are playing up to their mark. So
Especially a Sterling. Yeah.
correct, yeah. So they have to step up their game and they have to lead from the front. And I believe if they are able to provide some good scores during the power play, then the other players can really convert the momentum into a decent score.
Correct.
So
But
the major
yeah,
hopes
yes.
of the Ireland players would be on these two players. You were saying
Absolutely. But
something?
if you look into these four players, I think this should be the batting order as well for Ireland. So how important is at least two of them out of these four to carry on the innings?
Correct. And also, if we talk about the Harry Tactor, so he's the future captain of Ireland. Everyone knows about that. And he has been in amazing form this recently, both with bat and the ball. So I guess he can provide crucial overs between the slog overs, I guess, and he can really convert the momentum. And if we talk about Tucker, then earlier no one knew about him. But in last 2 to 3 years, by playing some crucial knocks against the top teams, he have really created a fixed spot in the team. And I believe he is the key player to watch out for.
He's a key player to watch out for. So you think so? We will come out with that and we will see what happens. But we are done with the first four players. Let's take a look into the next four players, which is Curtis Camphor, George Dockrell, a very experienced player for Ireland. You have Ross Adair and Mark Adair. These are the four players. If you can sum it up for them as well, pretty experienced, especially George Dockrell. We all know we have seen it for many many years. But about what about Curtis Camphor and the two Adairs?
Okay. So in Curtis Camphor, I guess he debuted somewhere around 2018 or 19. And in the initial matches, everyone was like, he's the next Shane Watson of the Associate Nations and all. He was performing with both bat and ball. But if we consider his recent performance, then also it's not up to the mark. He has huge potential to perform. And I believe this World Cup will be crucial for him because if he performs well in this World Cup, then he can actually get a IPL bid. I believe he has
Okay.
a huge potential to compete against the top players of the world. And he will be the key player to watch out for.
He will be the key player to
And
watch out for. I think
yeah,
apart from a Joshua Little, there is nobody from the island side so far who has made to the IPL sector. That's a bold prediction. Yes, you
correct,
were going somewhere. Yeah.
correct. Yeah. And I want to add the point of Mark Eder. Recently, he's being in amazing form with the bat. As you can see, during the initial wickets, for example, I have seen Ireland top order struggling against all the top teams, and Mark Eder came at 7 or 8 position, and still he was able to provide like 30 or 40 pick runs. Also, in his last match, which was 2 days back, I guess, he played a crucial knock of 49 runs from 24 balls, I guess. And he is
Okay.
the reason why Ireland won by 1 run. So he is a crucial player in the death overs, both with bat and the ball.
Okay.
I believe he can really convert those 15 to 20 overs game
Hmm.
with 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 bat and ball. And I'm not sure about Ross Eder. I guess he haven't played enough matches, so we can't conclude anything about him. He's newbie,
Correct.
and I guess he is brother of Mark.
Absolutely. They are the
So
brothers,
so
but yeah, yes, Mark Adair has more experience compared to the Ross Adair. Yes, you're right for that.
correct. Yeah. So I believe if he can step in shoes of his brother, then I guess he can really convert his initial inning into a great experience and exposure. If we
Correct.
talk
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
Doctorel, then I guess he's the only experienced spinner in the lineup, I would say, apart from Mark White. So
Yeah, they have a Ben White and also they have a
Ben
George
White,
George.
sorry, Ben White.
Correct. Yeah, no
Correct.
worries.
Yeah. Yeah. So I believe if the USA invested his pitches support spin, then he will play a crucial role in the middle overs, I would say,
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
about this. Mhm.
Absolutely. As the tournament progresses, these players, the spinners, will come into play. As Tarun has rightly mentioned, so George Dockrell, as we all know, vast experience. He doesn't need an introduction. Going to the next four, we are slowly going to the lower orders. Garrett Delaney, another vast experienced player. We have seen Graham Hume is there, Neil Rock, a wicketkeeper batsman for them, and a Ben White, as you were saying. Talk us through these four players, starting with Garrett Delaney. You all know, very experienced, has played the World Cup 10 games. He has played for the T20 World Cup for Netherlands as well, has a very decent strike rate. Similarly, Ben White, he will be somebody to look out for with the spin.
Correct, right. If you talk about Grant Anelli, then I guess he started at the top order. He used to bat at one down in initial matches, but even not able to convert his small innings into the greater ones. Then I believe currently he's playing somewhere around five or six position, I guess.
Mhm.
And he's not bowling, I guess, 4 overs in all the matches, if I'm not
Correct.
wrong. He's initially bowling around 1 or 2 overs. So I guess he's just a spot filler. I don't think so. Will make it to top 11 in the initial games,
Okay.
but he's a decent player to warm the bench, and he can,
Okay.
I guess, replace Dockrell or Camphor if they are unable to perform in the initial games.
Okay, that's pretty bold because Dockrell, I think he will play all the games, but if they're not
Correct.
performing, you have already a backup. Neil Rock, I think
Correct.
he may not start just because we already have
Correct.
the wicket-keeper batsman up the order. So I think the rest of them, Graham, you somebody decent, but as I said, not much World Cup experience. So he might be someone you can warm the bench at the initial stages. Going to the rest of the three players, Joshua Little, very renowned player, somebody who's playing for the Gujarat Titans, has made his name. Straight away leads the pace attack alongside a Barry McCarthy, Craig Young. What's your pick on these two? Which who should be the
Correct.
partner of Joshua Little?
I guess McCarthy can start with Little, as we can see, his economy is one of the best in the Ireland squad, and he has a
Correct.
decent experience of playing T20 leagues around the world. So I
Correct.
guess,
Yeah.
and we already know that Little has played for GT, and eventually GT started with him over other experienced overseas player on the bench. So I
Hmm.
guess he's the one who is a fresh age, and I believe with all his IPL experience, he can actually convert into the World Cup.
Okay, he can actually convert his form into the World Cup. He will definitely lead the pace attack, says Tarun, alongside of Barry McCarthy. Even I agree, Barry McCarthy's economy, a pacer bowling in such small grounds, has an economy of 6.74. That's not a matter of joke, I must tell you, ladies and gentlemen. And a Craig Young as the backup. Fair enough, we're done with the squads. Let's take a look into the fixtures and the schedules for Ireland team in the T20 World Cup. Okay, here are the four games. They're starting us with us. They are facing us, Team India, at New York on 5th of June. We are also starting a campaign against the Ireland side. Then they face Canada, then they go to USA, and then ending the proceedings with Pakistan. Tricky thing, but you cannot rule them out. If I'm somehow saying that India is favorites to go as the first team, do you still think Ireland can challenge for the second team alongside of Pakistan?
Definitely yes. So let's take about the matches of USA and Canada. I guess they will win both the matches comfortably.
Correct.
And now the match against Pakistan will be a crucial one. And they have already played three-match series against Pakistan, and they have scored around 170, 180 in almost
Absolutely, yeah.
all the three matches.
Correct.
And also, I want to add a point that the Pakistan was there with their complete bowling attack.
Full
And
side, absolutely
correct,
full team.
full side. And Ireland have survived that bowling attack and scored 170 plus three times back to back. So I believe they can actually convert this match only if they are able to get a hold on their bowling.
And
That will
just
be a
like you
crucial.
said, they did not have Joshua Little Ireland in that series versus
Exactly.
Pakistan.
Correct.
So they just can have an extra force into that bowling attack. And as you rightly mentioned, perfectly explained, Ireland has a chance. USA looking good. USA defeated Bangladesh in the recently T20 game. That is another top knock. Cody Anderson is there. Then you have more top players. Harmeet Singh is there. So
Harmeet
I think
Singh and all. Yes.
yeah.
Correct.
So USC is a really talented side. It's a very good group, interesting group. If I keep Team India aside, should be a no-brainer, topping the group. I think the rest of the three teams fight, four teams rather, fighting out for the second spot will be something we can watch out for to see. We're done with the fixtures. Let's take a look at the last 3 years of
I
Ireland
also
cricket
want
team.
to add one more point here.
Yes,
I
yes,
want to
Tarun.
add one point here. So as we know, the Joshua Little was the missing piece of their jigsaw puzzle against the series against Pakistan, and I believe if he's able to take initial wickets of Rizwan or Babar Azam, even one of them, then he will break the backbone of the team, and then they can easily defend the score of 1770 plus on the pitches of USA.
Okay, according to you, who is the backbone of the Pakistan T20 side? Is it a Rizwan? Is it a Babar Azam? Or is it a Fakhar Zaman?
No, I think Fakhar Zaman is on and off, on and off. And if we talk about Rizwan and Babar Azam, then they both have been performing consistently last 2 to 3 years, I guess. But the major drawback is about the strike rate. So I
Okay.
believe the strike rate is somewhere around 135, 138 at max. So they have to step up their game. They have to score somewhere around 150 or 160 strike rate because I believe on the pitches of USA and West Indies, 200 will not be safe. So if you're not able to give a realistic start in the power play, let's say 50 or 55 runs in the first 6 overs, then you are already out of the game.
Okay,
So the
so they
side
are
rate
pretty
will play
much,
a key role.
yes. Okay, so you're pretty much right in the game. We might see that. Thank you so much for that. Let's take a look into the next set, which is the top 3 years, the last three T20 World Cup years, and their form for Cricket Ireland. Yeah, 3 seasons. In 2022, they came in Super 12. In 2021 as well, they came in Super 12. And 2016, they came in Super 12. So, as expected, aside like Ireland not making up to the playoffs or not making up to the quarterfinals, semifinals, something not surprising, but they're progressing really well, just like in Netherlands, just like in Afghanistan. How do you look into this one as well? If they can make it to the top two, it will be a very, very big achievement.
Correct. We all know that Ireland are known for the upsets. They have defeated England multiple times. They have defeated South Africa in the World Cup, and they have also knocked out West Indies from the 50 overs World Cup, I guess. So they are known for the upsets. And if you talk about our group, then I don't want them to defeat us. Obviously, then the second choice is Pakistan. So I'm really counting on them to defeat Pakistan and enter the top eight.
Okay, so you are expecting the light green side to defeat the deep green, which is Pakistan.
Exactly.
That's very, very bold of you, but we can see that because they have the talent. So you're expecting Ireland to be the second side alongside Team India to progress for the semi
Correct.
quarterfinals. We will see that. Let's take a look into the top five players we have decided for Ireland cricket team. Yeah, it is the five key players I've selected are Paul Sterling, Ireland captain, Andrew Balbirnie, Harry Tector, George Dockrell, and a Joshua Little. Here are the five players. Do you have any changes for you? Any other player you might think of can come into these five players? Otherwise, do you agree with the same?
No, I guess these five are fine, but maybe we can replace Doctrell with Camphor.
Curtis
It's
Camphor
like
in
a
place of George
50-50
Dockrell.
between the two. Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
50-50 between the two for me. But let's talk about Sterling. He have great experience in all the T20 leagues around the world. I'm telling you, if he stays on that pitch for 8 overs, then the half game is done for Ireland. It's like he's known for his
Exactly.
destructive batting. And somewhere like during 2015 to 2019 or 20, I really considered him equal to Sehwag because their short style, the figure, the way they play, the aggression they use in the initial overs and all. But in last 2 to 3 years, his form is worst.
Exactly.
Literally,
Since the time he has been appointed as the captain, his form has dipped. How
correct.
much have we thought about that? Yes, please go ahead.
Right. And I think this will be his last year based on his form and age. So I guess he should really work it out and he should end on a decent note with the team Ireland.
And how much do you think is the key for somebody like an Andrew Balbirnie to steady the things? Just like for Afghanistan, they have an Ibrahim Zadran. Similarly, Andrew Balbirnie for Ireland.
Correct. Andrew Balwani recently catched up with his form. And now, as we see his last 5 to 8 matches, he's really performing consistently by giving quick 40 or 50 runs. So I guess if he can support Sterling in the initial overs by rotating the strike, then I guess they can really convert the. Let's say if they are able to reach a score of 60 or 70 in first 8 overs, then
Hmm.
I guess the other players can actually carry the momentum
Okay,
because of the batting depth of Ireland. If we can see, they have batting till 8 or 9, I guess. You have
correct.
Mark Adair, you have Dockrell, you have Delaney, you have Camphor in the slow overs. So if you are able to give them, let's say, 120 runs in 15 over, then in last 5 over, they can really slog it out with a strike rate of, let's say, 2 to 300.
Okay, so they can slog it out and finish off the innings pretty well, says Tarun. And I think you have summed out top five players really well. Thank you so much for that. Let's take a look into who are the leaders for the Ireland cricket team. Here are the three leaders: the Paul Stirling, the captain Andrew Bulburney, the vice captain Ed Joyce. What a talented player he was. But how much do you think the responsibility lies on the two leaders, the captain and the vice captain of the side?
As we all know, these two are the backbone of the team, and both of them plays at open. So it's like only these two players decide the fate of the team.
Correct.
If they given quick wickets in the starting, then I don't think so. Ireland can make up from that moment. So
Mhm.
they should give a quick start, and I just want them to hold the wickets in the power play. And
So
I don't
do
care
you
about
think
the
that you
strike
want
rate and
them to
all.
hold? So you want them to play some conservative start in the power play. But how do you look into the
Correct.
run rate? Do you think they can get off to a good start in the power play? Can they get a 45 to 50 run in the power play?
I don't think here the strike rate matters a lot. They just have to hold the wickets in like 5 to 6 overs. As we all know
Okay.
that the pitches of USA are pretty much favoring to the pace in the beginning.
Mhm.
But as the game progresses, the seam line at like it's slows down. So I guess they can actually convert the gears after the power play. So I want them to hold the game and just score 35 to 14 during the power play without losing a big wicket. And then I guess they can convert the game.
So okay, so you think, and you have summed it up pretty well. Thank you so much for that, Tarun. The leaders are done and dusted. Let's take a look into the predicted playing 11. Yeah, so here is the predicted playing 11 for me according to the Ireland cricket team. I'll read it out for you. Paul Stirling and Andrew Bulburney, as expected, are the openers. Lorcan Tector as the wicketkeeper batsman at 3. Harry Tector, Curtis Camper, George Dockrell, Gareth Delaney are the middle order batsmen. Then you go to Mark Adair, as we already said that. Barry McCarthy, Joshua Liddell, and Ben White. Here is my predicted playing 11. You were a little bit here and there about Gareth Delaney's spot in the side, or maybe Curtis Camper. What's your take on your playing 11? Is it the same 11 as mine, or do you have any difference?
I guess in the starting, I would go with the same team, but I'm not sure about the batting order. It's like the first four are fixed, and then the
Correct.
others will be shuffled based on the situation. But I
Correct.
will go with the
Absolutely.
same team.
Even I think the same. I think maybe a George Dockrell might come lower down the order, and the others can step a bit high. We will see that. But rest of the side, you're saying that it's the same 11 as mine. Thank you so much for
Yes.
that. We are done also with the predicted playing 11. It's time. Let's see what does Tarun has in his predictions time. Let's take a look into the predictions time now. Here it is, Tarun. You're the third guest, and here is your prediction for this game. It is you have said India, Australia, South Africa, and West Indies are your four teams to qualify. What are your takes on this one? How do you look into that? No defending champions for you. The reason behind that, please.
Yeah. So, so first I will go with India, and it's our home team, obviously. And if we talk about India, then we have, I guess, played almost all the semifinals in last 4 to 5 years.
Correct.
And based on our initial group, I guess we will easily make it to top eight and then to the semifinals. And then I want to talk about the West Indies squad. They are the injured lions. They already missed the last World Cup, and now they are the host. And everyone is talking bad about them, like you are the host, you got a free slot and something like that.
But they are
But I
very, very
believe
dangerous.
they are devastating in T20. Correct. And if we
Absolutely. They
talk
have
about
got
the
back
recent
Andre
series,
Russell. Yeah.
correct. And if we talk about the recent series against Ireland and maybe against England, I guess they have defeated England by 3-0 in last December, if I'm not wrong,
Mhm.
on
Correct.
on their own soil, on their own
On their
soil.
own soil.
So
Yeah.
so they are like the kings of the West Indies, and I guess the home conditions will favor them. And this team can score 200 on any pitch, on any day, on any bowling attack. I'm
Absolutely
I'm just
correct.
concerned about their bowling. So I don't think so. They have enough for decent bowling to play against the top teams like India, Australia, or England. But I believe they can compensate the bowling from their batting and they can easily make it to top four.
Okay, they can easily make it to the top four, is what you're saying. And I firmly feel so because West Indies are very, very dangerous. We're done with the top four predictions of your end. What are the top two predictions you have made when it comes to leading run score and leading wicket taker? Here is it. Let's have a look. And you have gone with the two like out of the box thinking you have made a Mitchell Marsh and a Gerald Coetzee. So you know Indian. That's surprise, surprise. All the rest of the guys has an Indian. You do not have an Indian. Talk us through Mitchell Marsh, the Australian captain, and Gerald Coetzee. I think it's out of the syllabus, but you've got him. The reason behind that, please.
Correct. So let's talk about Mitchell Mas. We all know that he's known for his timing. He don't use his strength. He just time the ball really
Correct.
really well. And we all know that the boundaries of USA and West Indies Stadium is somewhere around 80 or 75 meters. And I believe if he's able to time his ball in the initial overs, then I guess he can easily score 40 to 50 every game.
Okay.
And Mitchell Marsh in the yellow jersey, everyone know he's a deadly player to watch out for, and also he's the captain. So I
Hmm.
believe he can. He's the backbone of the team along with the Warner. So I believe he's coming at one down. He will play all the matches. So I think he's going to take the orange cap,
So not the orange cap, but the leading run scorer in the
leading
World
us
Cup.
to that. Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. But Gerald Coetzee is something very interesting. You've gone with a South African, I must tell you, Tarun. And that hints me that you're looking towards a South African Australian final potentially, or a South African reaching the final. I want to really eagerly waiting to see what's your prediction for the T20 World Cup champion side. Let's have a look. Are you kidding me, Tarun? Is it South Africa you have predicted
Yes.
for the T20 World Cup champions 2024 at US at West Indies? Reasons behind that. Where is India? Where is Australia? Where is England?
So I believe that South Africa will finally erase their drought of a trophy. And the behind making them champion is that they have a complete team. They have
Okay.
strong bowling attack in the form of Rabada, Nokia, Nigidi, and Kodze. I guess they have the best pace attack. And we all know that Nokia is
And you can
not in the
add a
best
Marco
form of his
Jansen
life.
as well.
Marco Jansen, correct. And we all know that the Orca is not in the best form of his life, but it's like he has done a great job for the nation in last 2 to 3 years. And I believe this pace attack can actually convert the game. Also, if you talk about the spin attack, then they have Keshav and Markaram. So they have a decent
Also
bowling
Tablé
lineup.
Shamsi.
Correct, right. And if you talk about the finishers, then they have Klasse and Stubbs. And we have already seen the power of Stubbs in this IPL. He scored with a strike rate of
Absolutely.
300 in last 4 to 5 overs. So if we talk about
Absolutely.
death overs, then South Africa is the best team to play in the death overs. And in the initial overs, we have Markaram, we have Quinton de Kock. And these players can give a decent start. Even if they
Correct.
play with 120 or 140 strike rate, it doesn't even matter. Because in
Absolutely.
death overs, if Klassen and Stubbs are on strike, then they can even score 100 within 5 to 6 overs.
Add up a killer
I'm
Miller to
really
kill
counting
things
on
off
these
for
two.
South Africa, please.
Exactly, right.
David Miller as well in that middle order alongside Stubbs and Henrik Klassen. They can go bonkers. But very, very bold of you, Tarun.
If
Thank
you
you so
talk
much for
about the
this one.
individual players, then they don't have stars in making and all. But if you talk about the complete team, then they have checked in all the boxes. And I believe
Absolutely.
if they are able to handle the pressure of semi-final and finals, which they haven't been able to cope up. We have seen 2015 semi-final against New Zealand. I've actually cried in that match. And
Ah,
we have seen in 2019 and also in recent World Cup, they were clear favorites against Australia in the first half of the match. But when they came to bat, they lost the initial quick wickets, and from there they lost the game. So if they are
correct.
able to handle the pressure at the knockout matches, then they are the best team right now.
That's what it matters. They have to handle the pressure in the knockout games. But thank you so much. You have said South Africa. Very nice of you. We will see if you are correct against all odds who are predicting India, Australia, West Indies. Thank you so much for that. Let's go
I want
into
to add a
last
point
one.
in the last. I want
Yes,
to add a
please.
point in the last. I am an Indian fan and I badly want my India to win, but I chose South Africa based on the stats and decent performance and the ground conditions and all. So by heart, I want India to win.
Absolutely.
But if
That's
we talk
fair
about the
enough.
realistic
No
approach,
problem with
then I'm
that.
with Africa.
No
Correct.
problem with that, Tarun. It's absolutely that's the reason why we mentioned the word prediction. It's what you think, it's not
Correct.
what you're going to think about. Heart always
Right.
says India. We're done with the T20 World Cup prediction. Let's take a look at the quiz question we have for Tarun. Here's the trivia question. Here it is, Tarun, for you. Who is the leading second highest leading run scorer for Ireland in the T20 internationals? Is it Paul Sterling? Is it Andrew Balbirnie? Is it Kevin O'Brien? Or is it Harry Tector?
I guess it should be Balbirnie, if I'm not wrong.
If you think Balbirnie is the second highest, who is the first?
I want to go with Sterling because Kevin O'Brien retired around 3 to 4 years back, and he played around 130 or 150 matches. And if you talk about Balbirnie, then he played most of the matches apart from Sterling. So I
Okay.
think Sterling is on top and Balbirnie on the second.
Okay, so you have said your answer. I'll need to answer whether it's right or wrong. You absolutely nailed the right answer. Paul Sterling is at number one, and Andrew Balbirnie is at number two. Kudos to you, Tarun. Fantastic answer. That sums up the show. He was fantastic. Thank you so much, Tarun. I hope you enjoyed the show. How was the feeling for the first time?
Thank you for having me here, and I'm really excited for that. And all the best for your content and all. And I've seen your previous videos and all. All the content was very informative, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, Tarun. Thank you for your kind words. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Team number three, Ireland cricket team squad analysis is done and dusted. They look a team to beat, as Tarun said. Really a strong side, but doesn't have too many stars in the making. But they can come out all guns blazing if they have the unity. We're done. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Till then, thank you so much, and bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.